Hey guys, Joseph here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another handheld review video. And this time I'm super excited to show you this new Anbernic. This is the Anbernic RG Cube. And finally we have a device with a regular name because, normally we have these names with letters and numbers. Now we have one that we can actually remember the name, and this is the Cube. So this is one of my favorite handhelds as of right now because this is very similar to my previous favorite handheld, which is the RGB 30 by Powkiddy. And look at this comparison. These devices look pretty much almost the same. And the reason I like or I love the Powkiddy is because it is a large device and it fits perfectly on my large hands. So if you have large hands and you like gaming on these devices, this is going to be a great option. But now we have a new kid in the block, and this is the RG Cube. And is it better than the RGB 30 from Powkiddy? I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, but right now I'm going to focus on this device, the RG Cube. So if you're interested in learning more about this device, price, ROMs, and how it feels, how it runs, this video is for you. Welcome to the channel. I'm Joster. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's do this. Alright guys, so I'm going to start by talking about the price of this device because this is usually going to cost you more than a normal or at least other handhelds that I have reviewed. So this, if you go into AliExpress, you're going to see that it starts at $182, and that is without any games, without SD card or anything. So if you want to have some games, at least 128 gig SD card, this is what I recommend to you. That's going to cost you around $195. So it's roughly about $13, $14 more. And I think it's totally worth it because this card comes with 4,700 games. And also I wanted to add this little carrying case. This is going to cost you an additional $10, which I think is totally worth it because you can just throw the handheld here, put some of your other accessories in this little bag. Just close it and it's going to protect it just if you want to carry it with you or you want to put it in your backpack. So for $10 more, I think it's totally worth it. And there's also another one with a 256 gigs SD card. Obviously it's going to have more games and that is going to cost you around $212. So you're looking at roughly around $200 device. And yes, I know it's a little bit expensive, but is it worth it? And that is what we're going to talk about in this video. So I'm going to start with the body and the design and everything because this is very, very important for me, especially if you are planning on gaming for a long period of time. You want something that is comfortable to hold, and this is it. That is what the biggest reason I love about this device is the design. It is super comfortable for me to hold it. I have large hands, so this device is excellent. Also, let's talk about the buttons that are here. For example, the front-facing buttons, they're very responsive. They're a little bit clicky, but they are responsive, and I like that. Same with the analog sticks. They're actually kind of small, but they work perfectly fine, and they're also clicky too. And also goes for, let's do the D-pad. The D-pad is different. This is something similar to a Sega Genesis controller. So this is perfect for fighting games. I mean, if you like to play Street Fighter, if you're looking to make more of those Hadoukens and Oryukens, this D-pad is going to work perfect for you. And then right here we have the RetroArch button, direct button. This is going to take you to either the operating system, which is Android, or to the RetroArch, which I think is great. And also this button right here is a home button or back button on this side. And then we have the select and start button right here on this other side. And then down here we have a couple of stereo speakers. Now they sound very, very good. They're very loud and clear, so I like that. Then let's go right here on this side. We have the power button and then the volume up and down. And then right here on top, we have the bumper buttons that are kind of clicky. And then we have the triggers. They work very, very well. And then we have also the USB Type-C, which works as to power up the device. Or also if you have one of those cables that has the USB Type-C to HDMI, then you can connect the device to any monitor or a TV. I think it works fantastic, but obviously I love to play my games right here. And then we have the SD card slot over here and then the headphone jack. And then we also have some ventilation right here on top, and same right here in the back. We have some active ventilation, active fans, which they don't make any noise at all. They're very quiet, which I like that. But the biggest design that I think is the best is this little bumpers right here, which is going to help you, just to rest your fingers. And it also has this rubbery part. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has this rubbery part with a little bit of grip. And I think it's a perfect design if you want to play your games, which I think is excellent. So yes, I love the design of this device. Now let's move on to the screen, because this is one of the biggest reasons that people love this device is the screen. This is a 3.95 inch screen, which technically is like, we're just going to round it up to 4 inches, 4x4, which means it's like a perfect square. And this is perfect for like old school games, which are designed for this type of screens. And also you're going to notice that some games that have different aspect ratio, because this is a 1x1. Some other older games are going to be like 4x3 or just different aspect ratios. But you'll notice that this device also has skins around the screen. So instead of looking at black bars around it, you're going to have skins, which I think is fantastic. I love it because some of the skins have, for example, like an old TV skin that is going to make you feel that you're playing in that old school TV. Or some other ones have this arcade that it makes you feel that you're at the actual arcade. So I think it's really nice what they're doing with the skins. I think you can also customize that, but I'm not really into customizing, but they're already available here out of the box, which is perfect. So yes, this is a beautiful IPS screen. Also, this is a 720p, which means that everything is going to look sharper and with more detail. And even old school games are going to be scaled to this resolution. So it's going to look even much sharper and much better. And also what I love about IPS screens is that they're very colorful, and no matter which angle you're looking at it, the colors remain vibrant and bright, which is something that is nice about having an IPS screen. All right, guys, so now let's talk about the operating system, the games, the ROMs, and everything. Now, first of all, let me tell you, I am not an expert on Android operating system, and I know a lot of you guys are, and you guys can see there's a bunch of emulators here that you guys can play around with. For me, this is something that I am not an expert. So basically what I'm saying is that I want to have a device that I'm able to play games out of the box. All you have to do is to insert the memory card that is usually available in the box. Now in my case, I ordered the one with 128 gigs. There's other one with 256 gigs. So obviously you're going to get more games. But in this case, I ordered 128, and it doesn't come the card already installed. So you have to pretty much open the little box and just install it yourself, and that's it. So once you do that, you go into RetroArch. Now you can see all the games here, but when you do it for the first time, what you have to do is you have to press X. You see this little window, basically it says next. It will scan the games on the TF card, and if you want to do that, just press confirm. In this case, I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to cancel that. But once you do that, it's going to take a few seconds or maybe a minute or two, and it's going to scan all the games that you have on the memory card, and it's going to show up here. And this is pretty much what you get. So you have all the emulators here. You have the Super Nintendo, and it'll tell you how many games it has. For example, 496 games. There's a Sega Master System, PC Engine, Capcom One, Sega Genesis. I mean, there are dozens of emulators here, and each folder has games in here. Now, there's some games, classic ones, that you're not going to have them available right away. For example, let me see, like all the Super Mario games, they're not going to be available when you order this, so you will have to download these ROMs and then download it into the folder. You know, you have to use a computer basically. Now, what I like about this device is that you can actually play games that normally other devices they can't even run. All right, so this is Donkey Kong 64 playing right here on this device, and look how smooth it runs. Very, very smooth. It looks fantastic. I actually never got a chance to play this game because I didn't have the Nintendo 64, and now I'm able to play all these games on a portable device, and I think it looks beautiful. It runs great because I was trying it on other devices, like I said, on the Powkitty, and it just didn't work. It was just skipping and it didn't work. But out of the box, it works fantastic with this device. Now, another emulator that I was surprised to see was PlayStation 2. I mean, PlayStation 2 on this device, portable device. Let's see how it works. And look at all these games. It has 17 games. First of all, God of War, and not just any kind of war. This is God of War 2, Devil May Cry, Dragon Ball, Dragon Guard, Resident Evil 4, okay, Silent Hill 4, Tekken Tag Tournament, Harvest Moon, Kingdom Hearts, Top Gun, Naruto, Devil May Cry 3, Armored Core. This is Armored Core, Silent Line, and Neo Contra. I don't know which games are this, but just the fact that you're able to play God of War 2 on a PS2. Let's see how it runs. All right, guys, so we are able to play God of War 2 from the PlayStation 2 out of the box, and this game runs smoothly. I don't have to do any kind of modification, nothing. Look at that. I don't even remember how to play this game because it's been so long. Let's play Tekken Tag Tournament. I actually don't remember playing this game. Let's see how it runs, because I noticed that also these games are very demanding. But these are fighting games. Oh my god, I really suck about this game. Can I use the D-pad? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. So this is Kirby from Game Boy Advance. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. This game actually looks pretty gorgeous, very colorful too. But you know what? I think I was able to play this game with other devices too. So this is Game Boy Advance. If you're interested in playing Game Boy Advance games. Now, I know a lot of you guys also would like to play PSP games, even though the aspect ratio on PSP is different. It's a 16:9, and this aspect ratio is a 1:1. So this is like a full screen, and we're probably going to see like a black screens right on top and bottom. But let's see how it plays. Alright guys, so first let me tell you, the game runs very smooth. I was very surprised. But another thing that I noticed is that it's not a 16:9, it's actually using all the screen. So obviously it's going to be a little stretched. Kratos and the faces look a little bit different, but it's not that bad actually. I actually like that I'm using the whole screen. I feel like it's taking advantage of this beautiful, nice screen. So let me see how you play this. Oh, there you go. Wow, it runs very good. I'm surprised. Although, you know, it's in another language, but what is this? Honestly, I get confused. I don't know Japanese, but I kind of have an idea. Now, if you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto, guess what? We have Vice City on this device, and it's also taking advantage of the full screen. So this is kind of nice. But you know, I play these games so many years ago, but the fact that I'm able to play it again on a portable device anywhere I go, it's amazing. It's so nice. So yeah, you can actually see the FPS here, the counter. It says 30 FPS. It's usually stable, but you know, this is from PSP. Oh yeah, and one more thing I like about this, and about the fact about this screen, is that vertical games look amazing. Let me just show you just a little bit how they look. I'm not a big fan of this type of gaming, but yeah, I know a lot of you guys love this type of games. There you go. I am dead. But yes, vertical gaming on this device is just one of the best that you can do. This whole screen looks amazing with this type of games. Alright guys, so finally I'm going to put both of these devices together to make this comparison video, because I know this is what you guys want to see, right? Which one should you buy? This is the RGB30 from Powkiddy, and this is the Anbernic RG Cube. Now, you know, overall it looks almost the same device because it has the same type of screen. The design is almost the same. They're both almost the same size and everything. But one of the biggest differences between these two devices is the price. This one, the Powkiddy RGB30, you're going to find it for around $75, $75, depending if you want a memory card with games and everything. And the RG Cube is going to cost you roughly around $200 with games as well. So the price difference it's a lot. You know, it's more than half that you're gonna get. You can maybe buy two of this and still not able to buy one of this. So is it worth the difference? And the answer I think is yes, because yes, even though they both look almost the same, have the same screen and everything, the RG Cube is capable of playing games that you cannot play with this, the Powkiddy. For example, PS2 games, you know, PSP, most of the games PSP run very well. Nintendo 64 games, 3DS, Wii. So there are a ton of games or emulators that the RG Cube has that the Powkiddy doesn't have. So that is a huge improvement. And also, you know, this device right here is way more powerful too. So that is the reason that it costs more. And also, this device runs Android, so you're also able to connect, you know, to the internet and even download. I haven't tried that, but you can download the cloud games from Xbox and just play cloud games because it's running Android in the background. So there are more advantages that you have with the RG Cube, but obviously, you know, the price difference, it's a lot. But how does it feel when you're playing games? Well, both of them feel very good, very comfortable. And what I like about the RG Cube, it has this grips right here, so it gives you a better grip when you're holding the device. Even though the RGB30, it fits better in my hands. If you have large hands, this device is excellent. It's gonna fit better, but I still like the RG Cube because it has these little grips right here in the back. And I also like the design of the bumper buttons and the trigger. It just feels better, look better. But there's one more thing I wanted to mention. So right here in the front buttons, the front face buttons, they both look great. But notice the design of how they implemented the analog sticks. They're like in an angle, I forgot what it's called. But the D-pad is located right here at the bottom, while the D-pad is located right here on top on the Powkiddy. Now, personally, I think this design is great for, you know, modern games, because this reminds me a lot of the Xbox controller. This is how it is. I think it's called asymmetric, you know, this design like this. It feels comfortable when you're playing with the analog sticks. It just feels more natural. See, but the thing is, like, when you're purchasing this handhelds, you're mostly playing old school games, like retro games, and retro games are designed to play with the D-pad. You know, so I feel like for the D-pad, I feel that this is the better design for this kind of consoles or this kind of handhelds. because for the most part, like I said, we're going to be using the D-pad. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys prefer, the D-pad to be on top or at the bottom? But personally, I feel like the being there on top is the better design. Another difference is, for example, this RG Cube has this RGB lights around the analog sticks, which I personally think it's a really cool touch. You can actually change that if you want to. If you go to right here, this brings out opens up another window, because this is just like I said, this is like Android. So you can actually turn them off if you want to. There you go. If they're bothering you, you just turn them off. But actually, I do like them. You can have a solid light. For example, this is wide, this breathe, rainbow, marquee, chasing, gaming. So chasing is actually pretty good, because it's going to turn on depending on where you're pointing the analog stick. But I personally like the rainbow because it just keeps changing to different colors, and I think it looks awesome. So one more thing I wanted to mention that I think is very important. When you turn off these devices, or when you put them to sleep or standby, all you have to do, for example, on the Cube, you just press power and that's it. Everything is turned off. It's on standby. If you want to turn it back on, you can just press it again, power, and that's it, and you're back into the game. But what it does is, like, you actually put it to sleep. It doesn't drain the battery. That is another issue that this the Power Kitty has. If you go put it to sleep, yeah, the screen turns off, but it is draining the battery like crazy. It may be a couple hours and your battery is totally dead. So that is a big advantage that I feel that the RG Cube is doing better, and hopefully the newest handhelds, they have that feature too, that when you put them to sleep, they actually go to sleep and it doesn't drain the battery. I always put it to sleep, and sometimes I don't play for days, and I go back and the battery is still like normal, like nothing happened. So that is a big advantage. So that's it for my video, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? And once again, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Joester, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Joester out.